I saw Rondale was out there the whole part. I'm assuming this is a day-to-day situation, but at least a step in the right direction if he's out there.
Yeah, he was limited some, but good to have him back out there, and hopefully he progresses to the point that we can get something out of him Sunday. I don't know to what extent yet.
How about A.J. Green's situation?
Looks doubtful unless he really comes around. Probably not going to be available.
What kind of projection can Rondale give you guys if he's able to go?
I mean, he's a playmaker. He had a really good training camp. We were looking forward to utilizing him in some different ways. But, coming off whatever he's been out 3 or 4 weeks, we'll be smart and limit kind of what he does. But he's definitely got some juice and was playing at a high level in camp. So hopefully he can go.
Do you hear anything from the league about what happened to the weather, Charlotte, this weekend?
We haven't yet. I mean, I've seen what it could look like, but I haven't heard anything from them just yet.
When you put together a script every week, is that a big collaborative thing? Is that something that you hone down at the end when you talk to Kyler? How does that kind of work?
Yeah, it's definitely collaborative. Different position coaches have different thoughts, different ideas, different assignments as far as what area they specialize in, and then we talk through it with the quarterbacks and see what they like, what they don't like, and try to come to a good place with it.
But it's not a situation where you're the first play is this play, the second play. I mean, it does move and flow with how the game.
Yeah, definitely, yep.
Is Dortch playing the role that you envisioned for Rondale to begin this season? Is that something you'll just have to work with when he comes back?
Yeah, I think he's filled in and done some nice things. Like I said, Rondale can do a lot of things. He's a unique player, and we want to be able to utilize all that he can do. But I think Dortch has stepped in and performed as well as we could have hoped. And so it'd be nice to have them all back and find a way to utilize all those guys.
We know that there's a lot of different things that all the receivers bring to the table, but without A.J., is it even more of a challenge because so many of the guys are, I don't know what you call undersized in terms of height?
Yeah, I think we just got to be smart, like I've said all along, how we maximize those guys and utilize them and, take advantage of what they do well. And Rondale, like I said, getting him a space with the ball is important because he's really dangerous there. And then, Hollywood's progress has really helped us. So we'll just keep trucking along until we get all those guys back.
I don't know if it's going to maybe be missing his top 4 receivers. I mean, how much does that change for you guys?
Who's that?
You're missing the guys that you're missing.
Oh, yeah.
You're used to throwing it around. How much does that change for you as a play caller? You try new things?
Yeah, like I said, you want to try and figure out what you can do best with those guys that you have, and they're talented players. You'd like to be full strength and use some of those top guys, but we got to find a way to make it work. And so far, just offensively, like I've said all along, we haven't had a rhythm, haven't even really executed a game plan through 3 quarters, and that's something that we've talked about, and just staying on schedule and not falling behind where it becomes a 2-minute drill every week.
After the game, last week, Kyler was asked about the drop passes. He said he had reminded the guys that they got to stay awake. And play's never over when I'm back there. I've got free rein to do what I got to do. Is that ever been a problem since you've been here with guys kind of like, I don't want to say stopping on a route, but giving up on a play when he still has the ball in his hands?
No, I don't think so. Last week just was one of those games that it just kind of snowballed on us, and we didn't execute, didn't coach, didn't do anything as well as we think we can. And I don't think that's been a pattern here from what I've seen.
The younger guys, though, who are stepping up, do they have to be reminded of that to keep your eye where you need to be?
Yeah, I mean, he's a dynamic player back there, and so at any time he can escape, make a play, and it's really never over. And if you haven't played with a guy like that, it can be a new experience. But hopefully the reps they're getting over the last couple of weeks, the new younger guys will help them.
I'm going to help with the 4 p.m. Eastern start, so kind of set the schedule is.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. I know the history of Arizona, those early starts hasn't been great, but I think that will be good. Hopefully the hurricane has passed through somewhat at that point as well, and so there could be some positives there.
Were any of the guys that were out today not vet days?
AJ would be, I think, the only one.
What's your impression of the pass defense through 3 games? Is it, statistically it doesn't look very good, but is that more that you faced Pat Mahomes and some guys like that, or are you actually worried about your pass defense?
No, I think when you look at, that's 3 really, really good quarterbacks, Pro Bowl type quarterbacks in a row. We knew that'd be a tough stretch, and I thought last week was a big step. I thought there for a while they played outstanding and missed a sack away from, I think, having 4 3-and-outs in a row that could have really got us rolling. But those guys are going to get better and better. When we get Antonio back, we're excited, and getting Trayvon in the mix. And B. Murphy continues to play at a high level. I thought Marco played his best game of the season last week. So we just got to keep trending in the right direction.
Jesse Luketa shown you to bring him up, and then also Ben Neiman. What did he show you in the game?
Yeah, Ben's been a starting linebacker. He was a starting linebacker on Super Bowl teams there with the Chiefs. So he's done a great job, and it was just getting him comfortable in our system. And then Luketa's been impressive all through camp. Works hard, studies hard, goes hard on scout team, and he's a guy that we want on our roster. And hopefully, as the season goes on, we can utilize him more.
How much freedom does kind of have at the line of scrimmage now with the line of scrimmage offense?
Yeah, he has a lot. We want him to, be aggressive and take what he sees, but be smart about it, have a reason, and attack his matchups. And like I said, once we get the band back together, I think, with all those top guys, it'll be good, and get those guys on the same page. And I think we got a chance to really take off.
Defenses do.
Where's Hamilton's return at right now?
He's moving around good. So, next week, maybe a little aggressive, but we're hopeful. I think we got to get him out there, see, what he's retained as far as the football stuff, and see how he moves around, make sure he's comfortable. But he looks good in his rehab.
Colt McCoy, will he trend toward being ready?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. He's really come a long way over the last couple of weeks, and he's throwing now, and looks good as well.
Defense is doing anything additional or anything to account for Kyler running the ball? Is there different things they're doing to try to hold that down?
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes. He didn't get out as much last week, but they were really keeping things in front. Bend but don't break, had a good plan, and held us to field goals, which was a great scheme and great job by them. But he picks his spots and knows when to utilize his legs.
Was that your shirt Cole was wearing?
No, I wouldn't do that to him. I wasn't going to make that bet because I'm not wearing that burnt orange shit, I can assure you.
Would you call him after a game like that? Or?
No, because he's hurt. Like, you can see his face. He like his dog died, man. I don't rub it in. He's like Mr. Texas. Like, that is the guy in the state of Texas. So I wouldn't do him like that.
For those that don't know, what makes Lubbock such a hard place to play college football?
Yeah, the fans were just passionate. You're out there by yourself, and you kind of have each other's back. And so when the enemy comes in, it's on.
Marquise playing on the left side just to take advantage of the Rams situation, or do you envision him moving around?
Yeah, we're going to move him around. It's just a comfort level right now. Trying to learn all 4 spots. I don't want to overwhelm him, so we're trying to maximize what he can do right now. But yeah, as this goes on, I expect to be able to move him around and use him in different ways.
What do you see Carolina's defense overall?
They're really good. I've always been impressed with Coach Rule and the culture that he brings, whether it was at Baylor or at Carolina. Tough-nosed, physical. They get the ball out. They've put a lot of draft picks, a lot of money into that defense, and they play hard and play really well together. So it'll be a huge challenge.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
When you guys, when Cliff scripts the first part of the game every week, how much of that is, how involved are you in that? I mean, and is that just him coming up with a list of plays that he's just going to call in, or do you have an idea of what's kind of coming early in the game?
I mean, it's, obviously he's the play caller. It's he dials it up, but we as a unit, we kind of have a idea of what's coming up.
How excited are you to go against Baker again, just to face him in another uniform?
Yeah, I honestly haven't really thought about it. Talked to him probably, I think it was before they played the Giants or after they played the Giants, but other than that, it hasn't really been like a big deal in that manner. Obviously, we're both 1 and 2, so he's got his own things going on. We got our own things going on. So I think the main focus is really just trying to get a win. Gonna love to see him, obviously, but as far as the competitive nature of the game, like I said every week, we got to win a game.
How much fun is it to do those Heisman commercials with him?
It's great. It's great. To be able to have the privilege to be able to do that with him is it's a blessing as a little kid. Joining that fraternity, always wanting to be a part of that fraternity, like it's a big deal. So I know he doesn't take it for granted, neither do I.
Is it fun to do that?
Yes, it's a lot of fun. A lot of great dudes, and that won the Heisman, get to do those commercials with.
What was it like to see Rondale more on the practice field? How do you look to you?
Look good, look fresh, rejuvenated. I know he's been itching and scratching to try to get back out there, but with injuries, you got to take your time. It's a long season, and he knows that. So
If he can't go, there's a chance the team may have to elevate 2 guys from the practice squad. AJ probably not going this week. How do you feel about throwing 2 other young guys?
Feel fine. Feel like I said, I got the utmost confidence in everybody out there. We just got to execute better.
If it's raining, storming on Sunday, how does it change what you guys do?
I mean, obviously, it affects the game. I think it affects everybody's game. But if it is raining, we got to have a plan for that. If it's storming, we got to have a plan for that. But we'll be ready to go, regardless if it's sunny, if it's raining.
Do you see teams defensively doing things specifically to account for you running and to try to keep you from running?
Nah, it's more so, if I'm asked to do it, then I do it. There's certain situations as of, late where it's got to come off scrambles and stuff like that, whereas teams may not, allow me to scramble as much as, people asking why I'm not running and stuff like that. Like it's not by want to or anything like that. I think just design right now is we probably I've said I would love to implement that more, but I just ask I do what I'm asked to.
When you do run, though, Kyler, the success rate goes way up for this football team when you're carrying the football.
Yeah, I've seen the stats and stuff like that. But again, like I said, the plays that are called, I try to go out there and execute them.
I know you've talked about confidence in a bunch of different ways. I'm wondering, with the early one, like let's say the pass on 3rd down is completed to AJ last week instead of the 3 and out. How much does the confidence play into some of these stats?
I mean, you get the first down for I think when you're in a rut or it feels like the way it feels when you get that first down. It's kind of a not necessarily for me, but for everyone, it's like a sigh of relief in a sense. Against the Raiders, we got a first down, and then we stalled out the next set of plays. So for me, it's about putting the ball in the end zone. It ain't about getting 1 first down. It ain't about getting 2 first downs. We've done that plenty of times and still haven't put the ball in the end zone. So that's what it is to me.
This is your 50th NFL start this weekend. What's the
Nice.
most important thing you've learned? Does it seem like 50 games?
Nah, 50 games. That's a lot of games. No, it doesn't feel like it, honestly. That's crazy. No, it doesn't feel like it at all. Important thing I've learned, man, you just got to keep going. Control what you can control. Obviously we've had a lot of ups and downs, but like I said, it's a long season. One game doesn't make or break you, and the team knows that. Locker room knows that. So you can't really dwell on how we feel right now. There's a lot of situations last year where teams are in the same position. growing pains early, figured it out late, and made a late season push to be where everyone wants to be at.
I don't know how many times it happened. You remarked about it after the game where you had to remind your receivers or pass catchers, don't ever stop. They know you well enough to know they shouldn't. Was it a surprise that some of them did, and how many times?
I mean, of course, it's a surprise when you throw the ball and somebody's not looking or doesn't expect the ball. I mean, everybody on the field should be live at every moment, and that's something continue to preach and continue to harp on. Don't ever think you're not getting the ball.
Did it happen way more times than it should have last week? Has it been a problem? Or
No, I think it just happened. I think it happened once.
just once?
Yeah, well,
That was
yeah,
enough.
yeah, exactly.
Lincoln has 3 starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now. What is it about him that makes him a good quarterback coach? And what did you learn from him?
He really, when I got to OU, I mean, I knew how to play quarterback, obviously, growing up, but he took it to the next level. His knowledge of the game, the way he coaches it, the way he sees it, the way he can just the relationship he has with the quarterbacks. It's he's great at it. But I also he's dealing with a lot some good players. We had some great players at OU. I want to say a lot of the guys that I play with are in the NFL right now. We had a great run, but he's going to continue to do that regardless of who he's with, because of how well he does it.
How much do you guys still talk?
I talk to him all the time.
What do you guys talk about? Is stuff like, does he help you with stuff? Is he like?
Just life, yeah, just like dealing with shit.
I asked Cliff earlier how much freedom you have with the line of scrimmage now with the line of scrimmage offense. He said quite a bit, a lot.
Yeah.
You enjoy that?
Yeah, I mean, I would hate to be back there and just be stuck and handcuffed and not being able to get out of something that may not be the best situation. But yeah, definitely, I have a lot of leeway to do whatever.
How much can the running game and improved sustainable rushing attack help the offense get going?
I mean, I think it has to. Well, I know it has to. I think offensively, you can't run the ball. It's going to be tough days. And that's when we're throwing the ball 58 times. Obviously, when we got everybody fully loaded and ready to go. The guys that we have out, get hot back, Tweez, Rondell, and then Keys and stuff like that within, and have everybody else that we do. Then it would be easier to do those things. But right now, situation we're in, even with those guys running the ball, you got to run the ball. You have to.
Go ahead.
On you running, is it, especially for chunk plays or bigger plays, is it more difficult when a team is playing back and in that zone where they can see you?
I mean, I think the Rams got up on us, and it's more of a bend don't break type of mentality. No understanding. Okay, you get in the red zone, gets tighter down there. It's tougher to score, and that's kind of what happened. We got to the red zone and couldn't punch it in or whatever. But in that certain situation, it is tough when everybody's eyes. They play zone. Obviously, everybody's eyes are on me in scramble situations. If they're design runs, it's a little different. It doesn't really matter. But when everyone's eyes are on the quarterback, yeah, it's not going to be hard to get out and go. When it's man and stuff like that, their eyes are on the receivers, and it's easier to if you make somebody miss, they're guarding the guys that they're covering. So
I know you talked a lot, obviously, about the execution on offense. You guys were pretty effective early in games last year. Do you get to a point where you're like, it's simply that we didn't hit that one play or those 2 plays and it's not there? I mean, if it's that's got to be super frustrating.
Yeah, I think it's a lot. I mean, I don't want to. It's not just a couple plays. I think it's foundationally from just what we're all doing right now. It's not good enough. Obviously, there are a couple plays where we would love to have back reads that I would. Every game, the quarterback's going to have reads they want to take back. But the plays, that are there to be made, the crucial plays that are there to be made, we got to make those plays. And there were some crucial plays in that game where, we could have made a difference. Again, everybody makes mistakes. All you ask is for them to make them full speed. But right now, we're all kind of, we're all not doing our job as good as we should.
What do you make of Oklahoma having 3 starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now?
3. I mean, it's I just think it's a testament to the guys that are in the league. I mean, obviously Jalen, he spent 1 year with Coach, did his thing. Obviously doing his thing now. Bake did his thing, and again doing his thing now. But I just think that's a testament to Coach, Coach and how we did things. The pride we took in it, the way we played. There's a lot of great memories for sure.
A number of us in the media have debated for 3+ years now about you being under center more, being shotgun. Does it matter to you where you are?
Does it matter to me? It matters in the sense of what it takes to be successful. I definitely I'll do whatever it takes to win. If that calls for me being under center, then it does. But I mean, I would say it matters if.
Is it an issue, though, in the running game? Should you be up closer to the line of scrimmage at that point, or is it?
Depends. It depends on the scheme, what we're doing, if we're going to hand it off, or the thing about if I'm under center, they say it takes away the ability for me to keep the ball and all that stuff. It's a lot of stuff that goes into it.
When you talk to Baker, I know you guys are friends. You've been friends for a long time. How has he handled the last 7 or 8 months with the Browns and the Panthers? I mean, I know you can't go into specifics, but what's that been like for him?
I mean, it's as a brother of mine. Obviously, I know he's capable of handling it all, which he does very well. I think a lot of stuff for him in the past he's put on himself sometimes, and that's some things that we joke with him about. But he's got a really thick skin. Obviously, I know that stuff can wear on him just because of how much unwarranted or just unnecessary stuff just gets said and stuff like that. But he's got thick skin. So I'm not too worried about him losing confidence or anything like that.
Are you in favor of what they've changed to the Pro Bowl, and if so, are you looking forward to participating in skill events when you get back?
Yeah, I with the flag football, or I haven't really seen the details of it. I think it's probably best that we change it, just because guys obviously don't want to go out there and bang each other up even more. When you got the best of the best out there, moving fast and stuff like that, people are liable to get hurt. But I think it'll be fun. I think it's a new innovative way to get everybody involved.
Cliff said that he talks to you about getting the adversity out of the way now as opposed to later in the season. How difficult is it to just kind of trust that process?
You have to. You got to stay. Like I said, it's just a little bit of adversity. That's never hurt anybody. I think everybody in this room has felt adversity. Everybody in the locker room has felt adversity. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be where we are. So I'm not too much fazed by it at all. I know the guys aren't. Obviously, it feels ugly right now to feel the feeling of losing and stuff like that. But we definitely see a light in the tunnel. We continue to work hard and get better.
This isn't a must-win game then?
Every game is must win.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much do you talk with James about trying to get him more established in games?
I would love to. Obviously he's one of our best players. You got to get the best players involved. Got to get them involved. And I think we'll do that.
Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, Kyle.